Ahoy there, Anthony the Captain here, and this is day one of the Gathering 7. Just checked into my hotel just now, and I got an executive level suite. I wanted to retract it to a lower level, but unfortunately it was too little too late, so at least I got some free breakfast out. That's another amazing perks. I'm a little subconscious as far as my budget is concerned, but still, as long as I had to have a good time with wrestling family, that's all that matters. And seeing these wrestling legends, that's all that matters, right? Right. Anyway, I made it in one piece, but unfortunately my splash shield did not. I know it's going to be an arm and a leg, or I'm probably going to have to call AAA to see if they can at least remove it or reattach it until I can take it to a repair place. But I heard that there's some mobile services that can do the trick. But I'll have to look in that. I'll have to look into that later. Unfortunately, I can't make it to the David Manning Q&A. That's part of my Ultimate VIP. I'm Ultimate VIP this year, so I get amazing perks. I get to go to the barbecue. I get to go to tonight's viewing party of WrestleMania 3, the original broadcast. I get to go to practically all the Q&As. There's going to be a second Q&A with Dave Brown with Memphis Memories, and both Q&As are hosted by Bill Apter, aka Mr. Pro Wrestling Illustrated. He's the heart and soul of Pro Wrestling Illustrated. But yeah, it was a little bit of a hassle, but I finally made it in one piece. That's all that matters. I know I'm going to be spending a lot of money, cold hard cash. In fact, T-Mart Promotions is a non-cash company, so they don't accept cards. But payment methods vary depending on the vendor. So but like I said, more on that during this week. Anyway, it's nice seeing wrestling family once again, and time to go down for the festivities. But I still got time for the registration booth. The registration booth is still open, so I'll have time to get all my supplies and all my tickets, my passes, my autograph and ticket passes, etc., and see if there's any more merch out there. I'm sure there's some more merch out there. But anyway, sorry about that. Anyway, you're going to see Tony the Cheer Captain on tomorrow and all throughout the rest of the week. But right now, best arcade game of all time, WWF WrestleFest. Whoa! Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Just had some technical difficulties here. Try to bear with me as best as you possibly can. Yep. WWF WrestleFest. Best arcade game of all time. I don't care what anybody says. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Also, I'm gonna try to get this going. I've been trying to do this ever since I started Captain's Arcade back in 2021, and that is to do special on-location episodes on during wrestling conventions like this one, like the Gathering. I've been trying to do it for WrestleCade for quite some time, but to no avail. But hopefully, if fingers crossed, if all goes according to plan, I can finally start doing it at wrestling conventions. But yeah. We'll see where the road takes me for the rest of the day. But right now, I'm going to be going down to some festivities, get checked in for the Gathering itself, and we'll go from there. And hopefully, I'll come back for a recap. If not, I'll try to do a special Captain's Arcade episode for the. Also, tonight is the first night of karaoke. I'm going to be singing my heart out. For those of you that know me personally, you probably know what song that I always do. But it's been a hot minute since I've done karaoke, but still, it's all good in the hood. Anyway, that's gonna have to do it for me. I'm gonna be going down to the festivities, get checked in for the Gathering itself, and we'll go from there. So I'll bid you adieu. I bid you adieu for now. Until we meet again, maybe say goodbye. Okay, day one's in the history books of the Gathering 7. Despite some bumps in the road, it turned out great, especially in the end with karaoke. And as I mentioned before, I'm having some iron car trouble. My splash shield came apart again. Hopefully I can get it taken care of by the end of the weekend. Just fingers crossed and prayers. Also, I also just received word from Town Collectibles that Christy Hemme is unable to make it on this upcoming Friday. She's officially canceled her appearance. There's been some wildfire in the state of Oregon, and she and her family have been ordered to evacuate, and so this unfortunately is the second time that she had to cancel. First time is back at WrestleCade several years ago. I've been looking forward to meeting her. Like I said, she was one of my biggest crushes back in the Ruthless Aggression era, especially when she won the Diva Search. But she truly shined at TNA. But still, I've loved her. I loved her ever since she made first great appearance with WWE. I was gonna get her to sign my my copy of the DVD of her winning the Diva Search, but unfortunately, before we do her cancellation, I'm gonna have to hold back on that. I was even gonna get Maria Kanellis and Candice Michaud because they signed it because they competed in the exact same year in the exact same competition as Christy Hemme, and they made a name for themselves in WWE just fine, and in wrestling and beyond, especially Maria Kanellis. Unfortunately, I had a pro photo with Christy Hemme, so I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to get a refund as far as that's concerned. But we'll see how things go from there. I don't know if there's going to be some sort of last minute replacement. I don't know if refunds are going to be issued. I don't know what the deal is going to be, but I'll just have to play by ear. We'll just have to see how things go. We'll cross our bridge when we come to it. But I didn't get a chance to see get to go to the David Manning Q&A because I was over here unloading, as you can see. But I did catch the end of the Dave Brown Memories of Memphis Q&A, and I kept waiting for the repair shop this mobile repair shop to come determine the diagnosis of my car. But like I said, it's a minor setback, but hopefully I can get this all by the end of the week, by the end of the Gathering VII. But like I said, that's a bump in the road, and the bump in the road is me finding out that Christy Hemme had canceled due to some fire evacuation. But the main thing is that her family's safe, and I pray that her family's safe. But I did see WrestleMania 3, and like I said, T-Mart had thousands of VHS tapes of original recordings of various wrestling promotions and various wrestling shows, and WrestleMania 3 is one of them. It's nice seeing the show in its entirety, including the intermissions, including the mini commercials that they had, without any edits, without WWE editing them. Because I know that Sirius, which is a song from Alan Parsons Project, it also served as the official theme song for the Chicago Bulls, especially back in the 90s, and various other sporting events for their intro. That was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's entrance music, and unfortunately WWE lost their license that song years ago, so they had to dub it in subsequent releases of DVDs and in streaming, etc. So that's practically the biggest change in that. But other than that, it's nice seeing WrestleMania 3 in its entirety in its original broadcast, and I was just barely a year old when it took place, and it's a classic, no doubt about it. But unfortunately, I was keeping an eye on updates on the repair shop, this mobile repair shop. Instead of me going to the repair shop's coming to you. But like I said, long story. But anyway, the biggest highlight night, karaoke night, and I practically dominated the karaoke floor, and it was a treat. This was living proof that I was officially accepted into the Team Art Army. So Marty, etc., Marty, Tommy, Rose, Sam, etc., from the bottom of my heart, thank you for accepting me into the Team Art Army. And who would have thought that one minor mission of me getting as many NWA World Heavyweight Champions to sign my title belt as I possibly could would turn out into something big like this. Because ever since a friend of mine, Sergio Ward, he too is Italian. Ever since Sergio Ward passed away, good friend of mine from WKillFest 90.9 FM, and also a big wrestling fan. In fact, like I said, he skipped extracurricular activities, football nights, and prom just to watch wrestling. And so wrestling was in his blood, and he loved watching the old territories and old NWA territories. And his passing, I'm still trying to process this, and it hurt my heart. Just it broke my heart hearing him passing, especially with it. I keep thinking to myself, how can the good die young, especially when he takes good care of his body. His gym is home. The gym was his home away from home. He takes good care of his body, his soul, his mind. And then all of a sudden he passes. It's just one of those mysteries. And so, like I said, I'm still trying to process his loss, and just to dedicate to his memory, getting as many NWA World Heavyweight Champions to some of my title belts as I possibly could. But said champions that are scheduled to be in attendance for the Gathering VII, I've already got them. Ronnie Garvin which is last minute replacement for Greg Gagne, Steve Corino, and Tommy Rich. Those are the three NWA World Heavyweight Champions that are going to be that are scheduled to be in attendance, that I know of at least. And I've already got their autographs on the title belt, so in other words, there was no need for me to bring it. But wait until you see what I wear that come in the days to come. So be on the lookout for that. All right, folks. But yeah, the karaoke was a much needed antidote. It was my escape from all these setbacks that I had. Especially that one setback with me having minor car trouble, but still, it's been a while since I've done karaoke, and I tore it up on the floor. I was breaking it down, and I think Ro and Marty, to say the least, have, and maybe Sam, have Facebook live stream videos on that. So big special shout out to them. But unfortunately, due to Facebook's policy, they're going to be up in a limited amount of time. But considering how late it is now, unfortunately, it can wait. The on location can wait. The on location wrestling convention editions of Captain's Arcade can wait. But I doubt I'm going to be delving into those throughout the entire weekend, but because of karaoke, etc. But then again, you never know. All right, folks, that's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna turn in for the night and get ready for day number 2. And with that, I bid you adieu. Until we meet again, maybe say goodbye. Hey, Tony the Chair Captain here. Woo! And I'm in the spirit. I couldn't be in more spirit because this is day 2 of the Gathering VII. And as you can see, I know the light's not all that great. As you can see, I'm wearing my Clover's uniform. Brr! It's cold in here. Must be the gathering in the atmosphere. Got matching palms right here. Big special shout out for the Super Palms for providing me these palms. Just got done with breakfast, and they're like I said, the best part of the executive level is complimentary breakfast over in this specific floor that I'm in, and there wasn't too much variety, so I had just had some bacon and eggs. That's it. But anyway, as I said on last night's show, unfortunately, Christy Hemme, due to the fires that are going on in the West over in Oregon, she had to cancel. So I got my refund as far as that's concerned. So so there's that. Not much you can do. Also, David Penzer has been moved to. I just received word from Premier Signatures that David Penzer is going to be moved to Friday and Saturday, but to say the least, he's moving on Friday. He was scheduled for today, Thursday, but unfortunately, he had to move it. So not much we can do. But anyway, also appearing on this Thursday, we have Iceman King Parsons, Doink and Dink the Clowns, legendary referee Tommy Young, the Yeti, Bull Buchanan, Rusty Riddle, Izzy Isabella, Brooke Havoc, Gail Kim, Mark Merrow, Tully Blanchard, Andre Chase, now known as Andre Chance, and also appearing for the most part on the Thursday through Saturday, we have Brock and Arn Anderson, the Steiners, Ron Simmons, Barry Windham, Magnum TA, Barbara Goodish and Karen McDaniel, who are the widows of Bruiser Brody and Wahoo McDaniel, respectively. There are some names that I'm planning on seeing. Mark Jindrak, like I said, did I say Mark Jindrak? I don't think I said Mark Jindrak. Yeah, Mark Jindrak. I definitely have my eye on him because he just started a YouTube channel and everything, and I'm loving what I'm seeing thus far. Muhammad Hassan, yes, Muhammad Hassan. He's the one that I was planning on meeting for the longest time. He's on there. But other than that, also Dawn Marie. Dawn Marie is going to be appearing until Saturday. Well, and Sam Houston's going to be appearing all weekend long as well as George South. And those are just some of the names that are going to be there on today. And I know I definitely pre-order a pro photo for Doink and Dink, and I got my eye on Muhammad Hassan and Mark Jindrak. Anybody else that I have my eye on? I'm definitely seeing the Steiners. Yes, the Steiners. I pre-ordered a pro photo for the Steiners, and there's going to be a special there's going to be a special announcer photo with Bill Apter, Ken Resnick, and Dave Brown, and I'm definitely considering that. But other than that, that's a look for the that's a look on what on today is what's to come. Also, on later on that afternoon, we have a special barbecue. It's going to be some random superstars, and the superstars are predetermined on the banquet for tomorrow. But on the barbecue, it's going to be random. Some that are going to be appearing at the Night to Remember banquet. Some are not. It's just 100% random. But just a little bit of a preview. The wrestling legend that I'm going to be sitting with this year at the banquet, at the Night to Remember banquet, is Leilani Kai. I'll tell you, she's starting to become a big role model, especially for women's wrestling. I saw her on her socials, interacting with Chelsea Green, Dakota Kai, etc. And she's definitely the perfect role model for the next generation. So I'm really excited for that. I can't wait to hear what kind of story she has to tell. But anyway, also T-Mark takes the Army, and like I said, we all know about the invasion angle from 2001 between WCW and WWF, now known as WWE, and ECW joined the alliance alongside WCW. But what if the invasion angle occurred in 15 years prior, 1986, the year I was born? This is definitely fantasy booking at its finest. And Ken Resnick, big special shout goes out to you, buddy, and big special shout out to you for being the master of ceremonies and sharing all sorts of stories with Roller Jam. He was also a commentator for this roller derby show called Roller Jam. It combined roller derby with pro wrestling like storylines. So that was definitely something right there that it aired from 1999 to 2001, and He was the one that I sat with on at the banquet last year, and this year's Leilani Kai. Other than that, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna start get ready, and hopefully I can solve my car problems by the end of the weekend, and we'll see how things go from there. And like I said, I did get a refund for Christy Hemme, so fingers crossed that one, that she's safe. That's the most important thing, and two, I get a chance to meet her on a later date. But we'll just have to see how things go from there. And so with that, I bid you adieu until we meet again later on tonight, or this afternoon, or this evening, depending on where I'm going to be. Thank you. Say goodbye. Hey, Tony the Cheer Captain here. Woo! All right. Day 1 of meet and greets is in the history books. Day 2 overall of the Gathering 7. And boy, oh boy, did I have a blast. And as come to no surprise, everybody loved my cheer captain character. This cheer captain character is going places. I can guarantee you that. Even the wrestlers love him. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what kind of autographs and photos I got. I got let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pro photos, and this is in no particular order. First, we got the Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott. Sorry about the glare, but anyway. Also want to send a big special shout out to the photographer. I don't know the photographer's name and the photo company, but they did a pretty good job with these printouts. They're always on their toes as far as the printouts and getting the pro photos are concerned. I've been wanting to meet them for the longest time, and after multiple failed attempts, mission accomplished. Next, I've been wanting to meet her for the longest time as well. This is ECW original Dawn Marie. Yeah, she was, she couldn't be any sweeter. Sorry about the glare. But anyway, but like I said, she couldn't be sweeter. Look how fine she is. Next we have a pro photo of Mr. Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garber, former NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I got him to sign my belt last year, and so I just had to get a pro photo with him. And next we have a unique duo known as, this is Doink right here, and this is Dink. His trusty sidekick Dink. Yeah, I thought, sure, why not? Might as well go ahead and YOLO this bad boy. I mean, how often do you meet Doink the Clown as well as Dink? And finally, Bill Apter. I'm sorry, he just loved my Elvis impersonation when I performed Hound Dog last night. And yeah, he'll now forever know me as Mr. Hound Dog, Mr. Elvis. And this is announcer Dave Brown and announcer Ken Resnick. My first exposure of him was on Roller Jam, so it was nice. At first I thought we were going to hold like mics and stuff and all, like the announcers do, but unfortunately that didn't turn out to be the case, so Bill Apter suggested me to do the Elvis lip. Thank you very much. And let me tell you, Ro will now forevermore, ever since I started doing Surfing Bird in karaoke, she said that I upstaged Peter Griffin, or Seth MacFarlane for that matter. So I definitely one-upped on that. I'll now forevermore be Mr. Surfing Bird to Ro, and Elvis to Bill Apter. But anyway, that being said, let's get to the autographs. Autographs. I forgot to bring my my big plastic binder with all the superstars in them, but unfortunately, it kind of slipped my mind. First, we got, and like I said, in no particular order, Chico Santana. Arriba. Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin. Something I've been longing to get. Finally, an autograph from Steiner Brothers, Rick and Scott. Braun Breaker making big waves in WWE. Braun Breaker, the son of Rick and the nephew of Scott. Now he loves my cheer captain gimmick as well as his sponsor, Taltown Collectibles, Muhammad Hassan. I want to see him start a YouTube channel, because we've already seen Maven, we've already seen Perry Saturn, and this guy here, Mark Jindrak. Very down to earth. He has like one of those unintentional ASMR kind of voices, and I could hear him all day and all the night, and it could just lull me to sleep in a good way. I can hear him tell stories. It's like unintentional ASMR. And next we have the always lovely Dawn Marie. Man, look at her. I first came across her when she was in WWE. I didn't see her in ECW, and who could ever forget her storyline feud with Tori Wilson. And next we have the well-respected man about town, Tommy Young. And of course we had Doink and Dink. T-Mart did something a little different. Speaking of Dink the Clown, Dink is T-Mart's vendor guest, and so he wanted to photo ops and the autograph separately, just like in the super ticket guests. So not a lot of people like that, but it's just the way that he wanted to do it this year. So what really can you do? And next, a little bit of a rival schools united by fate kind of deal. This is Andre Chance, formerly known as WWE superstar Andre Chase, former NXT Tag Team Champion. Next, we have, he first appeared in the TNA Impact video game, and he's been making big waves in TNA and beyond in the indies. Talk about none other than Suicide. As far as his finisher is concerned, he much prefers the Suicide Solution rather than the his finisher that was used in the game. Other than that, that's it. I got some more photos that I'm planning on getting autographed, including the Powers of Pain, which consists of the Warlord and the Barbarian, the New Age Outlaws, Road Dogg Jesse James, and Billy Gunn. And Nitro Girl Fire. I'm planning on getting her autograph. Psychosis. Like I said, unfortunately, they were trying to get the Mexicals together, but unfortunately, they were unable to book Super Crazy. According to T-Mart, Super Crazy moved to Japan without telling T-Mart up front. And finally, we have Rockin' Robin. I did have AC Jazz somewhere, but unfortunately, I lost it. I got lost in the shuffle, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to get another $5 from that. Just like I added the Chico Santana. Other than that, that's gonna do it. All right, they just wrapped up the Q&A with Tito Santana, of course, hosted by Bill Apter. And let me tell you, Bill Apter, he's full of humor right there. But anyway, in another less than an hour is the barbecue, and it's open to Ultimate VIP, and it's like random superstars, random superstars and legends, and I think we pick our seats, but I know that the banquet is assigned seating and assigned wrestling legend. And like I said, I got Leilani Kai, and she's got tons and tons of stories to tell. I assume. So I'm looking forward to that. She's got tons of stories, and perfect role model for the next generation. I've seen her interact with the next generation of women's wrestlers like Dakota Kai, Chelsea Green, etc. And she has officially been welcomed back. She's on a Legends deal with WWE, so big congratulations to Leilani Kai. I wonder if Judy Martin's in WWE. You know, the Glamour Girls need to be in the Hall of Fame, and Jimmy Hart should induct them. But we'll just have to see how things go from there. Anyway, I'm going to be heading over to the barbecue in another less than an hour or so, and then after which, the T-Mart Army takes the book, and guest booker Ken Resnick is going to be doing some of the book. Is going to be doing pretty much all the booking, and how the fantasy book is going to work, I have no clue. I've seen posts of Ken Resnick's booking on Facebook, and as far as I know, the invasion angle from 1986 is going to be settled in War Games, not War Games. War Games. You gotta say William Regal, so or else it won't work. And then I'm probably going to be hitting the hay. I'm too worn out. I'm going to try to do a special on location Captain's Arcade Wrestling Convention Edition. But we'll just have to see how things go. We'll just have to play by ear. Also, as far as my car trouble is concerned, I'm still trying to get everything worked out. At least want to get home. At least want to get home in one piece, and then do the long-term repairs afterwards. But like I said, we'll just have to play by ear. And so for that be chill out for a minute, then go to the barbecue, and then to the fantasy booking, and then we'll see where things go from there. And with that, I bid you adieu. Until we meet again, maybe say goodbye. Alright there, Tony the Cheer Captain here. Just got out of the T-Mart Army takes the book of the invasion angle, which took place. What would happen if it taken place 15 years prior to the one that we ended up with. This is basically the territories versus the WWF, and it's not necessarily WCW because back in 1986 WCW didn't exist. It was just the territories, the NWA in other words. But anyway, it was pretty fun booking, and then it was Ken Resnick and Marty, and they had several too many, and so just to keep each other sane, or rather insane. But I digress. But anyway, he did like a little recap for those of you that have been paying attention to Marty's Facebook. Ken Resnick was the guest booker for the several weeks leading into the pay-per-view. It was originally supposed to be Greg Gagne, but unfortunately his health comes first, so Ken Resnick took the book. And I gotta tell you, Ken Resnick saves the day once again, and I couldn't have asked for anyone better to book the show. Nothing against Greg Gagne. I don't know what. I've never met Greg Gagne, but by the way, I wish him a speedy recovery, and I wish Baby Doll's husband a speedy recovery as well. She was supposed to be there, but unfortunately, family comes first, and things like this happen. Same thing goes with me with Christy Hemley. She was forced to evacuate, and I received word from Tattletowne Collectibles that she is okay. She's been ordered to evacuate, and her home is okay, and so they were ordered to evacuate, and so she won't be at the meet and greet on tomorrow. But things happen, so it's a matter of playing the hand that you're dealt and doing the best you can with the cards. That's what you got to do in times like these. But anyway, some of the matches, I can't even remember some of the matches. What I do know, the opening match, but before I get into all that, Ken Resnick as the booking decisions live on the go home show to the pay-per-view, and then we get to the pay-per-view. And by the way, but the commentators were Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Gorilla Monsoon was played by Resnick, and Marty played Bobby the Brain Heenan, and it's the basically Team T-Mart, which is the Territories versus the WWF, and of course Bobby the Brain Heenan being biased, being Team WWF. So if you watch WWF back in 1986, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it was but the pay-per-view itself was crossover. Tito Santana, Tully Blanchard, and they picked several. They picked the T-Mart Army, a few people at a time, to pick who wins, who loses, and I can't remember some of the matches out there. But the match of the night, according to many, is Macho Man Randy Savage, in IC champion, versus U.S. champion Magnum TA. Magnum TA wins. It was match of the night, and a three-way title match for the T-Mart Women's Championship. The returning Wendy Worker taking on the Fabulous Moolah, the team, and AWA Women's Champion Sensational Sherry. Wendy Worker took it, and I was one of the ones selected to find out who wins. Same goes with the WWF, not the WWF, the World Championship Steel Cage match between Ric Flair and Roddy Piper, and all I needed was one word to determine who wins. Woo! Ric Flair. Ric Flair, I know, took the victory. The final score, by the way, was it was 13 matches in total. It was 10-3 in favor of Team T-Mart. I mean, it was pretty much one side. It was one-sided for most part, but they decided to continue the pay-per-view anyway. And it was a 20-man over-the-top World Battle Royale, and the victor was, I believe, the one-man gang. Another match I remember is the main event. No, it was the War Games. It was wait. Another one. It was two masked men. We don't know who it was, and supposedly from Japan, taking on the Road Warriors. And right before the match, the masked man turned out to be Andre the Giant Blackjack Mulligan. Andre Blackjack win. And who else? Who else was there? There was a six-man tag match. I do know. Lex Luger, Barry Windham, and Dr. Death Steve Williams taking on the Heenan family, which consisted of Big John Studd. I forgot who the other two were, but one was Big John Studd, and who else? I forgot who the other two were. But yeah, it was the Heenan family win. I do know the Heenan family win that one. I think the final score was 10-3, or was it 9-4? I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, Team T-Mart wins the entire pay-per-view. And it's the War Games match. It was a matchup between Dusty Rhodes, the Fabulous Freebirds, and who else? Kerry Von Erich. They took on the team of, who was it? The Dream Team consisted of Bruce Beefcake and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Who were the other three? I forgot who the other three were. If anybody knows, I'm all ears. Yeah. But anyway, for the WWF Tag Team title match, the titles, the British Bulldogs with Captain Lou Albano taking on the Rock and Roll Express. I think or was it the Midnight Express? I know it's some sort of express, but it was Rock and Roll Express. Rock and Roll Express were the winners on that one. In the main event, a masked man leading up to the pay-per-view turned out to be Bruiser Brody. Bruiser Brody versus Hulk Hogan for the WWF Championship. It was a close call, but Bruiser Brody wins. And let me tell you, this invasion angle was a whole lot better than the one that we got in 2001, 15 years later. Man, if this were 1986, then the territories would probably still exist, but only in a perfect world. But yeah, it was pretty fun. Maybe they could probably do it again. And Kim Resnick said that this is one of the many reasons why the Gathering is where it's at, you know. But yeah, it was pretty good. Right now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to turn in for the night. I'm gonna have to place it on hold. The Captain's Arcade on Location episodes for the Gathering, but we'll see if I can fit it in. But like I said, I'm facing car trouble. I'm trying to solve it, but unfortunately, I don't have too much downtime. So we'll see if I can squeeze in some downtime as much as I possibly can, because Friday is going to be ridiculous, and Friday and Saturday are going to be ridiculous. But I should have some downtime after we get to the super ticket stage, and the super ticket stage is usually they drag on. I hate to say it, but they do. But anyway, looking ahead on tomorrow, some of the talents that I'm planning on seeing it, and/or I'm locked in. First thing in the morning, I'm going to be seeing the New Age Outlaws. After which, I'll have completed my DX, not counting the Founding Fathers and the late managers. I'm locked in to see Normand Smiley doing the Big Wiggle. I'm going to get a picture with me and Norman Smiley doing the Big Wiggle. Doug Dillinger and Disco Inferno, I'm locked in. Taylor Rotundo, formerly known as Uncle Howdy / Bo Dallas. I've been getting so many superstars that work closely with the late Bray Windham Rotundo, aka Bray Wyatt. So I'm continuing it. I met his widow. I met his tag team partners, Eric Rowan, aka Eric Redbeard, and Braun Strowman, aka Adam Scherr. And I'm also considering seeing the Glamour Girls, that consisted of Leilani Kai and Judy Martin, and by the way, who are going to be inducted into the Cauliflower Alley Club. And according to what Leilani Kai said, the Glamour Girls are going to be the first ever female tag team inducted into the CAC. So big congratulations, big special shout out to the Glamour Girls. Well deserved. Not to mention I'm sitting with Leilani Kai at tomorrow night's Night to Remember festival. I'm locked in to see Psychosis, and I'm planning on getting autographs from Juventud Guerrera and Ted DiBiase, because I've yet to get autographs from them. Well, Psychosis is coming Saturday. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. But like I said, I'm locked in for tomorrow. I'm locked in for the New Age Outlaws. I'm locked in for Normand Smiley. Locked in for Doug Dillinger, Disco Inferno, Taylor Rotundo. And I may get, who else is coming? The Faces of Fear. I'm talking about the Barbarian and the Warlord. Let's see if I can scroll here. See if I can find them. And I had to download a copy of the Gathering Master Guide, and make some highlights, because it tends to be confusing if you don't know where you're going, but it'll all make sense in the end. But I'm sorry, but like I said, the super ticket seems to drag on a mighty long time. But they're doing everything they can. I know everybody has stories to tell, but the thing is, they need to keep the lines moving as promptly as they possibly can, because the lines are long, especially Ronnie Garvin's. Ronnie Garvin's was the longest I've seen over at the earlier today. But that's the vendor in the photo schedule. See, like I said, I'm planning on seeing the Warlord and the Barbarian. I'm probably going to do an own camera photo instead of a pro photo. But we'll have to see how things go. So, like I said, I got the Outlaws. I got everything highlighted here. The Outlaws are scheduled for 10:25 to 10:50. The Powers of Pain are scheduled from 12:35 to 12:55. And so that's it for the photo room. For the photos for that Friday. And if I'm lucky, I may have some downtime to see if I can get someone to at least reattach the splash shield, because the problem that I have over here is splash shield. So, and good thing I'm a member of AAA, and so I'll see if they can reattach it during some downtime between now and between my last stop of the day and the dinner banquet. You'll never know what I'm going to be wearing, and I have to dress to impress, dress nice, no athletic wear, no nothing. Okay, and then there's going to be the Hardy Boys are going to be here on tomorrow, if I'm looking ahead right here. Yeah, let's see. I'm trying to take a look at the schedule. If I can just take a look at the schedule. Oh yes, the Hardy Party is going to be. Yeah, the Hardy Party. It's a standalone event, so you gotta purchase a ticket. Unless ticket sales have already ended, but I probably won't stay too long over at the dinner, so because I'm trying to see if I can finally launch the Captain's Arcade on location. But other than that, that would be the end of my Friday. I won't have long to meet some of the wrestlers, so I should have enough time to call AAA and see if they can reattach my my bumper, and then I'll go from there, because I probably need a new bumper. All right, folks, and so with that, I bid you adieu for tonight. I'm gonna turn in for the night and get ready for tomorrow morning. Until we meet again, maybe say goodbye. Hey, Tony the Cheer Captain here. Woo! Coming in with a different ensemble. I'm partying like it's 1959, because I got the Red Crown version of the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, and this was used from 1959 to 1973. And a lot of great champions wore this, from Pat O'Connor to Buddy Rogers, Luthes, to Gene Kiniski, to Dory Funk Jr. and Harley Race before they before he was introduced. He introduced the 10 pounds of gold. But look at this ensemble. Tony, the big T. Anyway, yeah, just like I said, getting ready for day number 3 of the gathering, day number 2 of meet and greets, and I tell you, everybody loves the Cheer Captain, and this is going to be the world premiere of Tony the Cheer Captain, partying like it's 1959. And before I forget, let's get into the game plan here. Here's the rundown that I'm planning on doing, and the wrestling legends that I'm planning on meeting. I'm definitely meeting I'm definitely getting autographs and photo ops from the New Age Outlaws. New Age Outlaws they got the photo op from, I believe, 10:25 to 10:45, somewhere around there. I gotta check on that. But anyway, I'm definitely meeting the New Age Outlaws. I'm locked in for Normand Smiley. I'm going to be doing the Big Wiggle. And Doug Dillinger and Disco Inferno. I'm locked in. Maria Kanellis is going to be gracing her appearance. I've already met her multiple times, but I might say hey to her. You just never know. We also have Taylor Rotundo, formerly known as Uncle Howdy, and Bo Dallas. Like I said, I met everybody that worked closely with Bray Wyatt. I met Jojo Offerman, his widow, and I met his stablemates, Eric Redbeard, aka Eric Rowan, and Adam Scherr, aka Braun Strowman. And the Glamour Girls, I'm going to be saying hey to the Glamour Girls. Like I said, they just got inducted to the Cauliflower Alley Club. They're going to be inducted this year. They're going to be the first ever women's tag team to be inducted into the CAC. So big congratulations to both Judy Martin and Leilani Kai, with whom I'm sitting at tonight's Night to Remember banquet. And as far as the photo room, like I said, I'm going to be getting New Age Outlaws. It's going to be 10:25 to 10:50, and I'm considering getting photo op with the Powers of Pain, that being the Barbarian and the Warlord, and that's it for the Friday photo ops. Yes, indeed, in the photo room. Like I said, not that much, but that gives me plenty of time to get to call AAA and see if they can fix my splash shield. But other events that are going to be going on, there's going to be a wedding ceremony with David Garrick and April Wolverton, immediately following which the Night to Remember banquet. The honorees include Rockin' Robin, Stan Hansen, Ted DiBiase, Don Cornotto, who is represented by Rocky Cornotto, Bill Watts, who is represented by his son Eric Watts, and the Powers of Pain. So that's the lineup, and there's going to be the Hardy Party later on that night. And in fact, the Hardy Boys are right here at the hotel as we speak. I've already met the Hardy Boys before, and I've already been to the Hardy Party multiple times, so I'm all set. Which, hopefully, fingers crossed, that gives me time to finally do the Captain's Arcade on location wrestling convention special. But we'll see how things go from there. All right, folks. I'm gonna see if I can give AAA a call before the festivities start. But I'll try my best. But everybody's gonna get a kick out of me wearing this ensemble, me partying like it's 1959, and the red crown. Other fun facts: a lot of wrestling promotions in NWA territories have adopted this design of the red crown, and I think it's the current title for the NWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. And this was once used as Japan's version of the NWA US Tag Team titles. So everybody over at the Gathering is going to be getting a kick out of this. Other than that, that's going to have to do it for me. And so with that, I bid you adieu. I'll be right back with the recap of the meet and greets and the photo ops and I'm going to be at the super ticket stage with the Powers of Pain. So this may take a while, who knows? But main thing is I'm trying to get some stuff done. So with that, I bid you adieu. We're right back. I'll be right back after the meet and greet portions. Until we meet again, maybe say goodbye. Hey, Tony the cheer captain here. Woo! I'm in the spirit. Day 2 of meet and greets is in history books for the Gathering VII. Day number 3 overall. And let me tell you, I got more bang for my buck. I've got more items than I was planning to. But that's what happens when it comes to conventions like these, especially wrestling conventions. But anyway, I just wanted to show you, just going to give you a quick recap of what I got. For the super ticket, I got the Powers of Pain, the Warlord and the Barbarian. Reggie V. Fine stopped me and pulled me aside and wanted to sell me one of these bad boys over here, and that's Keith Lee. And speaking of which, where's Keith Lee? When's Keith Lee coming back? I know he has some sort of like undisclosed illness or undisclosed injury, but man, he would have been world champion by now. He would have been world champion in AEW by now. But like, what happened? What happened? I want to know what happened. But then again, I gotta respect his privacy. But he lives by the mantra, good things come to those who wait. But it's been far too long. I'm just hoping, but for the most part, I'm just hoping that he's okay. But we'll just have to see how things go from there. We'll just have to play by ear. I heard that I've been hearing rumors that he's retired from in-ring action, but I can't confirm it, unfortunately. But just take everything with a grain of salt. That's all I can say. But anyway, I also want to show you this little armband of Brett Wolverton, and all the proceeds of Brett Wolverton's collection, including his 8x10s and these armbands, this commemorative armbands, will go to the aquatic center in Greenville that he taught aquatic fitness. And so he was over there at Karen McDaniel and Barbara Goodish's table right over there. The merchandise, that is. Karen McDaniel and Barbara Goodish, the widows of Wahoo McDaniel and Bruiser Brody, respectively. And this is a good friend of Brett's. Name is Lacey. She goes by Lacey Lacey as always in on Facebook. But yeah, she noticed me on Facebook. But she probably saw me on those promo videos that I did for the Gathering, and the promo videos that I do for my radio show, Captain's World. But still, this just goes to show you the strength. Just goes to show you that I don't know my own strength sometimes when it comes to the cheer captain, and when it comes to the excellence of Captain's World. Next we have, he's the real heart and soul of WCW as far as I'm concerned. Not the NWO, not Goldberg, but this guy. The head of security, Doug Dillinger. Big special shout goes out to him. I got a photo with him and everything. This here, well, I think that's it. This here, the brother of the late Wyndham Rotundo, formerly known as a.k.a. Bray Wyatt, none other than Taylor Rotundo, a.k.a. Uncle Howdy, previously known as Bo Dallas. And of course, Bray Wyatt started off as Husky Harris went back when NXT was basically Double Dare. Remember that game show? Remember that kids' game show, Double Dare? You kids probably don't know what I'm talking about, but still, Double Dare. It was a kids' game show back in the 80s and 90s, starring Mark Summers. Which, by the way, this October is the 40th anniversary. And when NXT first started off, it was kind of like Double Dare. It was kind of like a reality show, trying to be the next breakout star, but it was more of an entertainment fair. Hence the name World Wrestling Entertainment. But yeah. And these ladies couldn't be classier. Talking about the Glamour Girls, Leilani Kai and Judy Martin. The former I'm sitting with at tonight's dinner banquet, and that's their manager, Jimmy Hart. This is one of my favorite photos of the Glamour Girls. I'm gonna save this one for last. Next we have, I've been wanting to meet him for the longest time, and I know everybody has something to say. has something to say with disco, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. But still, Disco Inferno is one of my favorite ones. He's one of the most entertaining guys in all of wrestling, and especially WCW back during the Monday Night Wars. Disco Fever, yeah, 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 yeah. By the way, Jimmy Hart wrote that song. Oh, you didn't know? Yep, I finally met the New Age Outlaws, and I got their autograph. But like I said earlier, the founding fathers that really come out to these, as well as the late managers, I got everybody on Team DX. I got X-Pac, I got Billy Gunn, and now Road Dogg. She's always the sweetest thing. I'm talking about Maria Kanellis. And big special shout out to Figurehead for bringing her in. Unfortunately, like I said, Christy Hemme canceled this year due to the wildfires over in Oregon, her home state, in her area. But rest assured, she's going to be back at the for the Gathering VIII. And last but not least, he's been one of my favorites for the longest time. He's going back to WCW during the Monday Night Wars. Of course, I was only allowed to watch WCW at the time, especially with the rise of the Attitude Era. But still, it's better than no wrestling at all. But I finally got to meet him. I want to send a big special shout out to High Spots for bringing him in. I've been wanting to meet him for the longest time. I didn't think he'd ever do conventions, especially he's over hard work training the next generation of superstars in WWE. I'm talking about none other than Norman Smiley. I just love him doing the big wiggle. In fact, I got a video of I did a video of me and him doing the big wiggle. In fact, hang on. I'm gonna see if I can do the big wiggle right here. I know the camera doesn't do that much, but I'm gonna try to do as much as the best way that I know how. But I'm gonna try to elevate this. Yeah, maybe I can do it like this. Here we go. That's not all. We're nowhere near done. Norman Smiley, in the meantime, between time, did a virtual signing presented by High Spots, during the virtual meet and greet, I saw this at his table. A little bit of a graphic done by those associated with High Spots. With the disco ball, it looks kind of like this scheme looks like it was done by Disco Inferno. It should belong to Disco Inferno, but still, it's him doing the big wiggle. As long as he's dancing the big wiggle, that's all that matters. And big special shout out to whoever did this graphic. But that's not all. He has some more merch up for sale. I'm talking about none other than his ring gear. Let's show off our trunks, shall we? They're like little tidy whities, but still, I've always wanted to get my hands on some more merch, ring worn gear, and Norman Smiley is one of them. And big special shout out to Norman Smiley himself, and big special shout out to the High Spots for this opportunity. I had to YOLO this, and there's Norman Smiley's autograph, ring worn from his WCW days. Norman Smiley, big wiggle. Yeah, they're all like little tidy whities, but that's not all. These are the exact trunks that he wore, that he sold. So I'm more than thankful that I'm taking home a piece of history, especially during the Monday Night Wars. I got this and a card him doing the big wiggle, and here's all the information in the back. This is a WWE, and pause and read. For those that want more information on this, you can pause and read. Bada boom, bada bing. See if there's any information on the back on this one. There's this. Boom. Forgive me because of the glare. There's all the information that you need to know. Once again, pause and read. Couldn't have asked for anything better. I'll tell you, this keeps getting better and better. And once, like I said, big special shout out to Team Art for bringing in all these great talent. I can't tell which is better, The Gathering or WrestleCade. So yeah, they're bringing in big names too, like DDP, Ric Flair, my newest favorite, TNA Knockout Harley Hudson. She was coming. This was confirmed on her Whatnot, and her partner in crime, Mila Moore, is going to be there. There was a confirmed as of the time I'm recording this, and Charlie, formerly known as Dakota Kai, she's confirmed. So there's that. But like I said, I can't get enough of this. I love me some Normand Smiley. I love me. This is how much I grew up on him. This is how much he meant the world to me. I got this, the poster. I'm considering having JSA authenticate these, and these. Piece of history. I might as well go ahead and frame these. Like I said, they look like little tidy whities. I wonder if I could fit these in there and start doing the big wiggle. But yeah. Alright, that concludes the meet and greet portions of day number 3 of The Gathering. And by the way, before we conclude, I got my problem solved. They ended up taking apart whatever's of my splash shield, so they're having to reattach it, but I'm gonna have to get it replaced. I thought it was gonna be after all this time of being delayed. I finally got everything solved back on. I pretty much got everything solved, but I'm not out of the woods yet because I gotta get the whole dang thing replaced. So I just gotta, like I said, it's just a matter of the hand that I'm playing, the matter that I'm handing that I'm doing. I do the best I can playing with the cards. So there's that. That's life. But anyway, I'm gonna chill for a few minutes and get ready for the banquet, the Night to Remember banquet, and the honorees are going to be Rocket Robin, Ted DiBiase, Bill Watts, Don Kernodle, and the Powers of Pain. And Bill Watts is represented by his son Eric Watts, and Rocket Kernodle is representing Don Kernodle. So there's that. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I shall be back. And at the time I record this, the Hardy Boys are going to be in town. The boys are back in town. but yeah. And I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, that I'll get started on the Captain's Arcade on location wrestling convention episodes. And so with that, I bid you adieu. Until we meet again. Hopefully on tonight, maybe say goodbye. Ahoy there, Anthony the Captain here once again. Just got out of the Night to Remember banquet, and they were honoring all great wrestling legends, including one that just got married not too long ago. In fact, got married this afternoon, talking about David Garrick. He too was a wrestler, and until an injury permanently sidelined from memory action, but he still remained behind the scenes and everything, and helped make the Gathering into what it is today. He got married this afternoon, having proposed to his now wife on last year. So that was definitely something right there. Other honorees include the Powers of Pain, which consists of the Warlord and the Barbarian. Rocket Robin in her final Republic appearance, although her final meet and greet is going to be on tomorrow, so I'm going to be making the most of it. Ted DiBiase, Stan the Lariat Hansen, and accepting the honor of Bill Watts was his son Eric, and a posthumous inductee was a posthumous honoree, Don Kernodle. So that was something right there. Big special shout out to all the honorees. And Rocky was there to accept the award on his behalf. But anyway, Rocky Kernodle, that is. But anyway, now that's taken care of. Although I should have told this on last night. On last night was the barbecue, and I had the privilege to sit with Tito Santana, and he was promoting his book, Don't Call Me Chico, and it was something right there. So yeah. Although I was getting seconds on burgers, but unfortunately they had to wait until refill. I didn't think that they're going to make it, and I just went ahead and, you know what, I'm just going to grab a piece of chicken and get it over with. And then as soon as I got back to my table, they brought out new burgers. I'm like, man, I knew it. It's like the more I walk away, they come in bringing new burgers. Especially walk away with something else. But yeah, I should have mentioned that on last night. But yeah, things got hectic. But yeah, unfortunately, due to Saturday being the busiest of them all, in as far as the gathering is concerned, I'm sad to announce that the Captain's Arcade on location wrestling convention special has officially been canceled. So for those of you that were looking forward to it, my apologies. It's just that everything's happening all at once, and I'm worn out by the end of the day, and the events run a little late. Even though the Hardy Party is currently going on as we speak. Even though I've been to the Hardy Party a million times, I mean, they don't need to prove. They got nothing left to prove. They got nothing more to prove anyway, because they're as relevant as the relevant can be. Their lines are long, and their legacy speaks for itself. I'm talking about the Hardys, even though I wish I was related to the Hardys, considering that we have the last name and we're from North Carolina. Maybe the Hardy Boys are hidden in my family tree. I don't even know. But yeah. So there's that. Just want to, considering that it's going to be the busiest of that tomorrow's going to be the busiest of the weekends. Just want to take a look ahead of what's to come tomorrow. I'm probably going to be saying hey to the Boogeyman. Psychosis, I pre-ordered for him. The Nitro Girls, I'm going to be getting a pro photo with the Nitro Girls and talking about Fire and AC Jazz, and I'm planning on getting their respective autographs. Possibly Stan Hansen. I know I've yet to get an autograph from both Ted DiBiase and Juventud Guerrera, so I'm going to be getting an autograph from each of them. And of course, I pre-order for the Fabulous Freebirds, and their lines are going to be long, as are the Hardy Boys. So I'm definitely going to be mindful of that. I need to get there as early as I possibly can. And Michael Hayes, he doesn't do conventions. I can't on one hand how many times he's done conventions, but I'm going to try to get there as early as I possibly can, and which is all the enough reason that I'm officially canceling my on location Captain's Arcade specials. Goldilocks I'm definitely seeing, and maybe Candice Michelle again, but we'll see how things go from there. Other than that, that's gonna do it. All right, folks, I'm gonna turn it for the night, and we'll see what happens. I know the line is going to be extremely long over at the Freebirds line, but I'm going to try to get there as early as I possibly can, try to get a quick bite to eat, and then we'll go from there. And so with that, I officially bid you adieu for the night. Until we meet again, maybe say goodbye. Hey, Tony the Cheer Captain here. Woo! I'm in the spirit, because it's day 4 of the Gathering 7, and boy, things are heating up. And when the tagline said extreme heat, they're really serious, because we're talking Freebirds, Hardy Boys. The lines are going to be crazy. Their lines are going to be crazy, and I'm going to be seeing. And this is also Rocket Robin's final ever meet and greet. Last night was her final ever public appearance, but her final ever meet and greet is going to be on later on today. So who else is going to be on there? That's on my list. Psychosis, I've been meaning to get him for the longest time. I got Juventud Guerrera, but it was years ago. But I also need to get an autograph from him. Same goes with Ted DiBiase and the Nitro Girls, Fire and AC Jazz. It's such a treat. Unfortunately, T Mars was unable to get get as many Nitro Girls as he possibly could, but hey, two's better than none. These two are better than nothing. Goldilocks is also on my list, as well as I may want to say hello to Candice Michelle again, but I know Boogeyman is going to be kicking things off with the photos, and the Freebirds are going to be there from 10:30 to 2:30 because Michael P.S. Hayes has got a busy schedule, still running things in WWE as a producer. But yeah, going back to the banquet for a second, I forgot to mention this. Like I said, it was an honor and privilege sitting with Leilani Kai and breaking bread with her and sharing stories. And once again, I want to send a big special congratulations to her and Judy Martin, aka the Glamour Girls, for being a part of the Cauliflower Alley Club, first ever women's tag team to be a part of this. So a big special shout out, big special congratulations go out to the Glamour Girls. I had a chance to pick her brain, Leilani Kai. I asked her if she could travel to anywhere in time, and the Glamour Girls scoring off against any women's tag team in the world, and any place in time, which would her biggest dream match be? And she said that she and Judy could picture her squaring off against Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. I can definitely see that. Io Sky, Glamour's taking on Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. That would be a dream match of the century as far as women's tag team wrestling is concerned. But yeah, look how far women's wrestling's gone. And yeah, Rockin' Robin, I gotta say, God bless her. She was. It's been a while since she's done some public speaking, even though that she's been retired from wrestling for the longest time. She was nervous. She was trying to picture everybody in their underwear, and everybody. It was pretty hilarious though, and this became a running gag the rest of the night. Same goes with Eric Watts and getting, hey, what's your dad's number? And Bill Apter joking around, She's the Lady by Tom Jones, and those became running gags throughout the rest of the night last night. And of course, a buddy of mine who happened to be sitting with me this year and as well as last year, but wait until next year. We'll be sitting together with a wrestling legend. But I was going to bring up the Sensational Sherry's spaghetti pizza. Buddy Boy actually made the recipe, and according to what Leilani Kai posted on her social media pages, and he said it was pretty good. So there's that. I even asked her what she thought of the current generation of women's wrestlers, and she says she loves it. And Chelsea Green, she had a lot of fun with, and she's like the daughters that she never had. And I said, well, I can picture you being her manager. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if Leilani Kai started working with Chelsea Green in some way, shape, or form. And I'm hoping, and she's also hoping that there's going to be a third evolution, the all women's PLE, because the women in WWE don't need a pay-per-view all to themselves, so or PLE for that matter. But fingers crossed that a third evolution comes around sometime soon. But like I said, it was such an honor being able to break bread with a legend like Leilani Kai. She's the sweetest. She couldn't be any sweeter. And for what I'm hearing, Judy Martin isn't far behind on getting a Legends deal, and long overdue for the Glamour Girls to get a WWE Hall of Fame induction. But here's to hoping, fingers crossed. So that's what I forgot to mention on last night. But anyway, other than that, as far as what's on the list is concerned, it's going to be a busy one because, like I said, we got this, we got the wrestling show Rumble at the Hilton, and I think that just about does it. And karaoke, don't forget karaoke. So, like I said, we might as well go ahead and go ahead and take the Canada's arcade specials and throw them out the window. So, so there's that, as well as the photo room, as far as the photo room is concerned. I may be getting Bill DeMott, aka Humorous or Hugh Morris. I might as well go ahead and get as many Misfits in action as I possibly can. I already got Lieutenant Loco, aka Chavo Guerrero. I forgot Van Hammer the late great Van Hammer was part of Misfits in action. He was Captain Stash. If I know that is passing what happened, I'll probably get as many members of the flock and as many members of the Misfits in action as I possibly could. But like I said, rest in peace to Van Hammer. He passed away earlier this year. I know Corporal Cajun, aka Lashley, was going to be over at WrestleCade, so might as well go ahead and get as many as I possibly can with the Misfits in action. And of course, we got the Nitro Girls and Psychosis in the photo room, and Rockin' Robin. All right, folks. I think that just about does it for me. I'm gonna get a quick bite to eat and gonna be getting ready for the day. It's gonna be a busy one, so I might as well go ahead and rock up as much energy as I possibly can. And with that, I bid you adieu. Until we meet again later on tonight after the Rumble at the Hilton, after karaoke. Excuse me. Maybe say goodbye, or until after the meet and greets, maybe say goodbye. Hey, Tony the Chair Captain here. Woo! The meet and greet portion of day 4 of the Gathering VII is in the history books, and let me tell you, this was the busiest of them all. I was running around left and right trying to complete my list as much as I possibly could, and I managed to do it. My wallet took a beating, but you know what? It's all worth it. I will be broke and die a happy man. That's the only thing that matters. And a lot of the setbacks and etc. That's all that matters, is that I had a good time. So as long as I'm having a good time, that's all that matters, right? Right. But let's recap and see what my acquisitions are. This lady of the hour here, Rockin' Robin. Final ever public appearance. It was all worth it. Big special shout out goes out to Rockin' Robin and Marty for putting this all together. And speaking of Rockin' Robin, she happened to have her autobiography, Worthless, the Rockin' Robin story. And this is what the back looks like, and a quick synopsis about it. Quick synopsis on it. Of course, I got Candice Michelle to sign my Diva Search, in which Christy Hemme won. Unfortunately, she's absent, but she will be back on the Gathering 8. And I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be readier than ever before. Or more ready, excuse me. This is Bill DeMott. Yeah, I know everybody. I know it's controversial to many, but still, he's a wrestling legend, and nobody will ever take that away from him. That's the second Misfit in action I got. This is General Erection, and I got Lieutenant Loco, a.k.a. Chavo Guerrero, and like I said, Corporal Cajun is going to be, a.k.a. Lashley, is going to be at WrestleCade, so he's on my radar as well. Unfortunately, like I said, Van Hammer, as part of General Stash, a.k.a. General Stash, was part of it, but unfortunately, I was unable to get him, and I'm like, you know what, probably, maybe next year. And he was a member of the flock, but unfortunately, he passed away earlier this year. Jasmine St. Clair, I think she was in ECW. And her partner in crime, Goldilocks. And let me tell you, she saw me at WrestleCade, and let me tell you, she loves me. She absolutely loves me. Yeah. And she's got a Patreon, and it said something like, let's be friends on Patreon. So, it's a very affordable price, so I'm definitely considering it. Yeah. There's something about wild women that I like. With wild personalities, that is. And I got here one of my favorite luchadors in WCW with the very catchy entrance music, Psychosis. And what good is Psychosis without this guy? Juventud Guerrera. I like tracing back to their luchador roots with their masks prior to them removing them. Like I said, when I was a kid, I've always wondered what these luchadors look like in the mask, but as I got older, I see how sacred the masks are. And so, they got to protect their identities at all costs. They're doing all they can, whatever they can. And as far as I know, Mil Mascaras, Dos Caras, the Blue Demon Jr., and Ultimo Dragon. I said Ultimo. Did I say Ultimo Dragon? Yeah, Ultimo Dragon. They've all been masked for pretty much their entire careers. And once you lose a mask, you can't retract it. Although there are some exceptions, aka Rey Mysterio, and you have to either go through the rest of your career unmasked, or you gotta choose a different character. I think that's what the code of conduct of Lucha Libre, as far as maskers are concerned. But I'm pretty sure anybody can help me out. So I'm not sure how it works, but I heard that Blue Demon, the original Blue Demon, took it to the next level, wearing his mask straight to his grave. That's like taking kayfabe to the next level. This is like next level kayfabe, so I gotta applaud him for that. But like I said, Blue Demon Jr. is going to be on his farewell tour, and I'm going to give him to sign my NWA World Heavyweight Championship title belt. He's the only as of this recording, he's the only NWA World Heavyweight Champion that's confirming that I haven't got. So things may change between now and WrestleCade. I met him a couple times, got a photo with him a couple times, but never an autograph. The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Also want to send a big special shout out to the vendors, 123 Talent, Premier Signatures, etc., for doing their part in getting these respective talents. AC Jazz. She saw my promo videos of the Gathering. I tagged Marty in the Gathering, and she's like, it feels like I've known you for years. And I tell you, this cheer captain is getting to the next level. It's going places. Next thing you know, I'm going to be getting endorsement deals and everything. You just never know. And Fire, Nitro Girl Fire. I got a pro photo with them. I meant to get my my pro photo pick up my profile with Psychosis when I saw them doing the pro photos much earlier than scheduled. So yeah. And this was I hit the jackpot right here. Big special shout out to Tony Hunter. I think that's his name, Tony Hunter, for getting these guys. I'm talking about the fabulous Freebirds. So yeah. And that takes care of the autographs. The pro photos, Psychosis. I got a photo with Juventud Guerrera, my very first WrestleCade back in 2016. And of course, the woman of the hour, Rockin' Robin. I got a chance to have her sign sign this pro photo here. Nitro Girls, AC Jazz, and Fire. They love my cheer captain vibes. This goes to show how much Tony the Cheer Captain, star power Tony the Cheer Captain has. Also, and this was a last minute decision thanks to Marty and company. I did a promo video with the Boogeyman creeping me out, doing this, "I'm the Boogeyman, I'm coming to get ya." And my acting, this was next level acting. So they love. He loves me, and God bless the kids that find him terrifying. I mean, that's the whole point of the Boogeyman, you know? Oh my goodness. At the time I'm recording this, the wrestling show isn't until until later on tonight, after which karaoke. And like I said, big special shout out to Ro. He loves me. She loves me doing the Surfing Bird, and Bill Apter, aka Mr. Pro Wrestling Illustrated, one of the greatest wrestling journalists around. He loves my Elvis. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Yeah, they'll now forevermore associate me with those respective tunes. All right, folks. You know, like they say in wrestling, the car is subject to change, but now more than ever, true rewards have never been swum, because I think I have enough time. I think I can squeeze in Captain's Arcade, not WrestleCade, Gathering special. I've been wanting to do it on location at a wrestling convention for the longest time, and so you just never know. I may squeeze in, but the doors don't open until 7:30, and the bell time is at 8. So, I don't know what time it is. I think it's like 4:30ish, somewhere around there. I'm gonna go ahead and post my pics and videos on social media, and then I'm going to be going to the wrestling show. I may get a little quick snack, but you just never know. But other than that, I'm gonna see. I'm just gonna chill out for a minute. I'm running on. My energy's running low, and so is my money. But I can make it. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it out in one piece. I got faith. And so with that, I bid you adieu. Until we meet again, baby, say goodbye. Hey, Tony the Cheer Captain here. Just got back from karaoke. It ran late. It is now 2 in the morning. I gotta wake up in a few hours to. I'll wake up early ahead of time. I'm not sure whether or not I'm going to be skipping the shower, but I do know that I got a lot of items to pack up, and I'm going to see if I can pack up as early as I possibly can. And at 9:30, technically this morning, I'm going to be going over to the ECW panel with Mikey Whipwreck, Shane Douglas, Francine, and maybe Mustafa Saeed of the Gangsters. But other than that, I'll probably make one more rounds and say my final goodbyes, and then I'll be on my way. Yeah, but prior to karaoke night, which I still dominated. In fact, we're still on my reservoir. There was the wrestling event. Sam Houston was in action. Luke Fury was in action. There, and to me, match of the night was this tag team match between Amish Country, which, by the way, I got this 8x10 of Amish Country with Betsy the chicken, and I got a chance to pet Betsy and everything. They were going up against Big Money Inc., which is a tag team that I've never heard of, and Money Inc. were the baby faces and the heels were Amish Country in this match, and one of the members from Big Money Inc. was like, KFC, and lo and behold, they go in the ring and bada boom, bada bing, KFC buckets, and they were passing out KFC buckets, and I happened to get one, and bada boom, bada bing. Although, like Buckethead, this rock star named Buckethead, I didn't know who he was until a few weeks ago, but he was best known for wearing a mask and wearing a KFC bucket, mainly KFC buckets over his head. He sometimes wear plain buckets, sometimes, but he's mostly seen wearing KFC buckets. And yeah, I might as well go ahead and embrace my inner Buckethead. But anyway, even though I don't play guitar, but anyway, but it was fine. It was great. And no disrespect intended to WrestleCade, but the vibes are completely different here at the Gathering than it is WrestleCade, even though I'm going to be a regular at WrestleCade, no question about it. But it's just the vibe. It's just that the vibe is different, and I guess it depends on where the type of event and etc. So there you go. But anyway, I'm going to be making my last rounds, and like I said, my wallet took a huge beating, but you know what? It was worth it. I'm going to be broke and die a happy man because of everything that I got. And like I said, I still can't get over me getting one of Norman Smiley's ring trunks, and me posting on my socials, me doing the big wiggle. You can't see it, but yeah. But anyway, I'll be getting a midnight snack. I didn't eat too much all day, and might as well go ahead and get a quick midnight McDonald's, and then I'm gonna hit the hay, running limited hours of sleep, and then try to wake up as early as I possibly can, and start packing up and everything, and say my final goodbyes. Probably maybe go to the ECW Q&A panel, say my final goodbyes, and then it's back to life, back to reality. And despite all the bumps in the road and the setbacks, this turned out to be a great gathering, and we're going to be doing it all over again for the Gathering 8. So yeah. All right, folks. With that, I bid you adieu. Until we meet again tomorrow morning when I wake up, or technically later on today, baby, say goodbye. Hey, Tony the Cheer Captain here. Woo! Well, like the whole saying goes, all good things must come to an end, because this is the 5th and final day of the Gathering 7, and for the most part, it's going to be containing ECW meet and greets, but I've already got all the meet and greets that I wanted. I got everybody on my list, and there's going to be an ECW Q&A panel over in one of the rooms over in this Hilton Hotel. But other than that, I'm going to be making my final rounds, and I'm currently getting a head start on my packing, and after that, I'm going to be on my merry way. And what a weekend this has been. What a week this has been. I mean, the vibes, everything, the meet and greets, and this convention is called the Gathering for a reason. It's not just a convention; it's a family reunion, and I made a lot of great memories, and I was basically the king of karaoke over at both nights at karaoke, and I can't wait to do it all again next year. But how the world did this week fly by so fast! Nonetheless, it's all about making memories and having a great time, despite some of the setbacks that I have, especially with me having car trouble. This turned out to be a great one. This is my first full-fledged gathering, because last year I was only there for the Friday and Saturday portions of it. But boy, did things change, and I want to send a big special shout out to the T-Mart family for officially accepting me into the T-Mart Army. I'm loud and proud to be part of the T-Mart Army, and this is when you're T-Mart Army, you're T-Mart Army for life, more like forever. Because I also want to include the T-Mart Army soldiers who are no longer with us, including the mother-daughter duo of Leslie and Kelly Michael. I miss them every day. But anyway, still another 45 minutes or so before the Q&A, the ECW Q&A is going to be consisting with Shane Douglas, Francine, Mikey Whipwreck, and I think Mustafa Saeed. So we'll see how things go from there. And like I said, I'm going to be making my final rounds before I head out. Before I head out in the afternoon, I'm probably going to stay until around noon time-ish. But we'll see how things go from there. But right now, I'm going to be getting a head start on my packing. And so with that, I bet you I do. I'll be back later on this afternoon with my final thoughts. Until we meet again. Until then, maybe say goodbye. Okay, I'm back in my crib. Made it back in one piece. And like I said, a 90-minute drive. The Gathering 7 is officially in the history books. Can't wait for the Gathering 8. And now it's back to life, back to reality. Yeah, just going to tell you about day number 5 of the Gathering 7 and my final thoughts on it. Apparently everybody had the same idea, trying to pack up, and all the trolleys were taken, so I had to make 82 million trips and load everything manually, but you know what, it was all worth it. And just as I was getting my last load, it starts pouring down rain, but I managed to survive it, and only caught the second half of the ECW panel. Is the ECW Q&A panel. It was hosted by Mike Johnson of PW Insider, so big special shout out to PW Insider for putting this all together. And the panel consisted of Shane Douglas, Francine, Mikey Whipwreck, and Steve Corino. I was going to, like I said, that's the only thing I was planning on catching, because I got enough autographs as it is. I've already gotten previous autographs from Shane Douglas, Francine, and Steve Corino. But T. Martin Company insisted me to keep getting autographs, because after all, I did pay for the super ticket, and so they talked me into it. So I went ahead and got the autographs. It consists of Mr. Hughes, who was filling in for Greg Gagne, who replaced Vern Gagne, Steve Corino, Jazz, Shane Douglas, Mikey Whipwreck, and Francine. And so that officially ends. Also, while I was waiting for the super ticket stage, I got the family pro photo from the T-Mart family, and it's in here somewhere. Let me grab it real quick. And boy, did I get a lot of autographs. Like I said, I can't wait to do it all again on next year, the Gathering 8. There's the portrait. There's the family portrait right here. And I can't thank these people enough for putting this all together. What started off as an NWA fan fest, it was many, many years ago, transformed into something big like this. It's called the Gathering. Ever since T. Martin Company took over, it's been called the Gathering, and they've been keeping on strong for the past 7 years, and can't wait for the Gathering 8. Like I said, Ro loved my bird, Bubba's a word, Bubba's a word. She even bought like one of those screaming rubber chickens that Amish Country had, and she loved it, and the rest of the Team Art Army, and the rest of the Team Art Army loved my karaoke. I was singing Elvis. I was singing Surfing Bird. It was just fun. And so here I am. Like I said, in spite of everything, this turned out great. This was my escape, which leads me to this. Sharing my final thoughts on the Gathering 7. I knew I was going to spend a lot of money. It was, like I said, it was everything I expected and more. I packed a lot of cash, because T-Mart, to say the least, was all cash. But depending on the vendor, they take all sorts of payments. But I do know that the T-Mart company itself, T-Mart Promotions, are an all-cash company. So I had to pack as much cash as I possibly could, and I did just that. And like I said, it was all worth it. The thing is, when it comes to wrestling conventions, it's the perfect escape. When wrestling itself is an escape in of itself, but when it comes to online drama and online tribalism, especially when it comes to WWE and AEW, you just need to escape from the escape, and so that's when wrestling conventions come in. But there's something different when it comes to the Gathering as opposed to other wrestling events that I've been to. I mean, it's the vibes. That's exactly what it says. This convention is called the Gathering for a reason. It's more than a wrestling convention. It's a family reunion. It's all about making friends, reconnecting with old ones, and just having a good time, just sharing our love for pro wrestling. We're all gonna have differences, but this is a non-judgmental. The Gathering is a non-judgmental group when you can share as much wrestling fans or tell as much wrestling stories as you want without being judged. You can support any wrestling promotion, any wrestler, etc. without being judged. And so that's exactly what the Gathering was. And with all due respect to WrestleCade, I mean, WrestleCade, no doubt in my mind, is one of the biggest wrestling conventions out there. Like I said, what started off as uh, a special event for a special holiday event for the Salvation Army turned into one of the biggest wrestling conventions in the world. But when it comes to the Gathering, it's just the vibe is just different. I think the vibe's vary depending on which event that you go to. We all have all sorts of conventions, whether it be San Diego Comic Con or Galaxy Con, etc. But I don't go to too many conventions. The one that I usually stick to is WrestleCade. But ever since I started going to the Gathering, starting out last year, the Gathering 6, I've immediately been accepted to the Team Art Army, and I want to send a big special shout out to like I said, I can't give you shout outs enough of Marty Rowe, Sam, etc. Tommy. The registration booth is basically his home away from home, and there's too many to name when it comes to the friends that I've made. I've even made friends with this couple from the UK, and as of at the time of this recording, they're going to be flying to Vegas on vacation, and they're going to be flying back, and by next year, they're going to be married, and so I want to send a big special shout out to Rachel and Michael. Hope you enjoyed your stay here in the States, and I can't wait to see you come back for at the Gathering 8. Also want to send a big special shout out to Derek and Gary. I first met these two when we were sitting with Kim Resnick at last year's Night to Remember ceremony, and by some strange coincidence, we ended up with Leilani Kai together. And like I said, it was such a treat breaking bread with Leilani Kai, and it's great breaking bread with all sorts of legends and other wrestling fans from all over the U.S. and all over the world. I mean, the Gathering has a lot of perks that other wrestling conventions don't have, such as a dinner party, a dinner ceremony, recognizing and honoring honor big wrestling legends, whether it be WWE, the territories, etc. Back when it was known as WWF, that is. Like I said, not knocking on other conventions, not especially WrestleCade, but the vibe hits differently with the Gathering. I mean, what other wrestling convention do you get to break bread with the wrestling legend and have a watch party and have a barbecue dinner with a wrestling legend? And what other convention that you get to sing karaoke with friends? You don't get of the conventions I've been to. You don't get that type of vibe other than the Gathering. So there's that. So as we head back to life, back to reality, I leave you with this. When it comes to, like I said, as I said before, when it comes to wrestling conventions like these, with all due respect to every other any other wrestling convention or conventions in general, there's no vibe like the Gathering. It's called the Gathering for a reason. It's more than a wrestling convention. It's a family reunion. And this is the perfect escape from your escape. Non-judgmental. Just good vibes and good times. That's the lesson that I've learned when it comes to wrestling conventions. Unfortunately, you gotta have an escape from the escape sometimes, because I've been seeing a lot of drama at WrestleCon and some instances WrestleCade because of certain incidents from wrestling fans that I don't want to get into. So yeah, this is one of the many reasons why the Gathering is where it's at. Of course, there were some there were some regulars that are no longer with us that I never got a chance to meet. However, there are some that are regulars that I bump into on a regular basis at WrestleCade and other wrestling events, like the mother-daughter duo of Leslie and Kelly Michael. They were regulars over at the Gathering. Unfortunately, they're no longer with us. I came in for last year for one purpose and one purpose only, is to get as many autographs from various NWA World Heavyweight Champions that I possibly could. And that one mission turned into lifetime permanent membership of the Team Art Army. And for that, I owe you some thanks. I owe Team Art and Company some thanks. And I also want to send a big special shout out to everybody that I've met at the Gathering and those that I've reconnected. Too many to name, unfortunately, but you know who you are. I've seen, speaking of which, I've seen Brandon Spec Lyles post some photos of him with Wrestling Legends at previous gatherings, but I was always a WrestleCade guy because one, is close to me, and two, I was on a budget. But ever since my friend Sergio Ward, fellow DJ over at WQFS 90.9 FM and host of Jet Set Jazz, passed away, I made it my mission to honor him by collecting as many autographs of many NWA World Heavyweight Champions as I possibly could. And this turned into everything I expected and more. And he loved wrestling. In fact, like I said, he skipped extracurricular activities. He skipped football games, even his own prom, just to watch wrestling. That's how dedicated he was. He loved the old school territory days, and he was very cool to hang out with. He's just one of those hip uncles at family reunions. Like, how you boys doing? You boys good? It's a shame I didn't get to hang out with him as much as I wanted to. But I'm still trying to process this loss. But I can honor him by collecting as many NWA champions autographs as I possibly could on that replica belt. But like I said, that mission turned into a permanent membership of the Team Art Army, and this was a blessing. Sergio's passing was a blessing in disguise, and so things happen for a reason. So, and for that, I keep owing the Team Art Company some thanks. All right, folks. With that, I bid you adieu. And once again, I'm still making plans of the Tiller Tournament Series for Captain's Arcade. We're still in production of Season 6 of Captain's Arcade. I'm still on the air with Captain's World on WUAG 103.1 FM and WQFS 90.9 FM. I'm on the Live 365 and TuneIn apps respectively, and I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at My World, The Captain's World, X at Captain's World 86, and YouTube at Captain's World 1986. And of course, the gaming channel is Captain's Arcade. And so with that, I bid you adieu for now. Until we meet again, maybe say goodbye.